Hi everyone, welcome back. This is a quick run through of a new kit I've put together, or some background papers in essence. And I thought we'd have a play at how I need to, well, I'm going to use one of them for a cover for a journal of mine. Excuse me. So there are 10 papers altogether, background papers, so mixed media sort of background papers. Virtually all the same kind of colours. So number 3. Now these are printed on photo paper, albeit very thin. But it does, and I will show you some I printed out on normal cardstock. Now I can't for the life of me remember what. So lots of different textures and, oh, now that one's actually quite a favourite of mine, the pinks and the blues. And then we have the more orangey ones and brown ones. So lots of mixed media backgrounds on there. Now what I wanted to show you was, I've actually printed them out on, this is actually quite heavyweight, but on cardstock. I just wanted to show you the difference in colours. So that's quite a vivid colour on the photo paper. And that one's printed on normal, albeit decent quality cardstock, but it's come out a lot more muted. So the colours on the photo paper are a lot more vivid. Now this looks like you've gone mad with the gesso and just got it all ready for going into your book. And I have to admit that sometimes that will suit better than that one. So the two different ways of printing them. And then what I've put in are a couple of just little ephemera things, sort of collage things to go with the background papers. So this one sort of flowers and a few butterflies. And then this one just a couple of background pages. Now what I did do was actually print them out on tissue paper. As you can see, where I taped it down, I've misjudged that one totally on the end. And then the same again, because I want to use them. I'm quite getting into this decoupage, but for the life of me, I'm refusing to spend that kind of money on buying a few napkins. I've had a look round and they're like, how much? So I thought, right, I'll print my own. So whether it will work or not, I don't know. We'll give it a go, see how it goes. So that's the kit. That's either on the website or in the on the Etsy shop, whichever you prefer. So that's those. Now what I wanted to do, I've made myself a journal, just for an art journal basically, just for taking away with me, and I haven't done the cover. So what I want to do is decorate the cover. So me being me, I forgot to, in my haste, because we've just come back from a camping trip, so I apologise for the state of my nails in advance. I think I've broken every single one of them while we've been away. So if I just take off I actually want, that's my front, if I can, there we go. I'm not going to bother with the back, I have to admit. So if I put those out the way, that's my front cover. So I thought, oh, my printer turning off. I quite like this one. So let's get rid of tissue paper. So printing on the tissue paper, all I did was cut a piece to size. So for me that's A4. Cut it to size, and I actually taped a bit of sellotape. Let's get rid of that. I taped a bit of so I've just taped it to the front and then ran it through the printer. And I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be done, if that's not the way, it's certainly the way it's worked for me, although people do come up with some wonderful ideas after. So I thought I would use this one. I did wonder about covering up the holes, and I thought, well, I can always go back and poke them through after. We'll use the bind it all tool. Bind it all? We are memory keepers. I've got one of these ring binder thingy jobbies. I quite like that one. So now, because it's for the front of my book, I don't want it two-dimensional because it gets chucked in my rucksack like it just has when we've been away. And if I have something two-dimensional, it is just going to get ripped off. So unlike my journals, which are really, can be very dimensional, I thought let's try and keep it fairly flat. So I want a bit of an edge. So if sorry, I've got a mat on here and it's just slipping everywhere. So now then, to keep holes or not keep holes? That is the question. How about a little bit of a hole? That might do it. So it looks like I've made an effort. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick that. Oh, don't you just love it when you haven't used something? So what's this? Decoupage. That's what I use for my wet gluing. Let's get rid of that. Miles too much. Now I need this to be really well stuck down so it doesn't start peeling off on the middle of the beach. Or my husband decided, we went to Wales, took the kids camping. It's one of our young ladies' first ever time on a proper holiday. So none of us knew what to expect, but she was really good. Really, really good. Took it all in her stride, bless her. Found some walks. Let's go that way, I think. Yeah, found some walks, and I found, oops, that's gone off. Oh, that'll be all right. So I found a nice and easy 3 mile, fairly flat walk. The kids aren't particularly fit, neither am I. And so I thought, that would be brilliant. So we come to a crossroads with the signposts. Started off from the campsite. And then my husband's going, no, it's this one. I'm going, are you sure? 8 miles later, and we really did go up and down different, about 4 or 5 different gorges. Yeah, there were 2 of them. We had to go down on our backsides because you couldn't actually walk down them. So I wanted to kill him. Bless him, at the end. What I am going to do is use clear gesso just to go over the top of this. So whatever I put on it won't run. Another big brush. So, have my piece of paper back. Try and keep my workplace relatively clean. Right, the clear gesso it will just stop your paper from bleeding if you do put any sort of wet media on it. Well, that's the idea of it anyway. And hopefully waterproof it a little bit. Right. I am going to go and dry that and I will be right back. Right, that's all dried off now. And I've been having a look. I've seen some wonderful... There's so much inspiration on Pinterest, I have to say. I wanted to use these two bits up, so I'm thinking I'm going to put one up there somewhere. So if I just tear off these bits. Now, if you hear any funny growling noises, my old cat is in here and the young cat has just come in. They don't get on. I'm sure at some point they will call a truce, but at the moment, Right, so if I was to put that there, and then I quite like the idea of having it a bit messy. I've been desperately trying to get rid of my, not neat freak brain, but I do like things to line up properly, and I do like things to, I don't know, a place for everything and everything in its place, in my books. My husband says he wishes it would apply more to the house, but hey ho, there you go. Can't have everything. I'm quite liking that actually. And then I've got this really dark sort of colour, which might make a nice contrast up there. So if we get... Oh, I do miss my fingernails. So how about... Definitely want that end. So if I let's get a nice edge. Sorry if I keep going off camera, I do get a little carried away sometimes. Yeah, I'm quite liking that, and I'm not. That's all I've got left. Yep, that'll do me. Right, let's edge it. Now I'm thinking, oops, something dark. So this is walnut stain that I've got here. Make that a bit darker. Yep, that stands out. Right, let's do it with this one. I'm sure I waste more ink than I actually use. Yeah, I'm quite liking that. Okay. Let's glue. So, what did I say? About there. So if I stick that down. I am terrible for forgetting where I'm putting things. So I find something, I think, ooh, that looks good. And then for the life of me, unless I actually take a picture of it, I can't remember where I wanted it to go. I ought to tip some of this out into a bowl so I can actually see how much I'm getting on my brush. So, I think that storm's coming in that they were on about. Right, so we have the beginnings of a cover. Now, the tissue paper I printed, I really like these daffodils. So let's cut some of the daffodil out. See if I can do it. I'm hoping that tissue paper will be the same as napkins, but I can't guarantee it. Right, let's get rid of that for a minute. Where do we want it? About there. What do you think? Oh, well, actually, this is a lot more forgiving than except I think I should have started in the middle and worked my way out, and then I wouldn't have that crease. I am still learning. No, don't rip. Okay. Sorted. Let's get rid of that bit. I'm really hoping this is all still on camera. Okay, the moral of the story is tissue paper is a little more forgiving to begin with, and then not when it gets wet. Glue that a bit down. Yay, I'm quite liking that. And then what I wanted to do was put some, I figured the other thing that wouldn't come off would be texture paste. I've got these two, they are from the Crafters Workshop, TCW. So 2 stencils, that one and that one, and I can't decide which one I want. Oh, that one looks quite good. Right, this is my texture paste, lots of different colours in it, because I do tend to keep using it. I will put the recipe below, but it is very, very easy and very smells well. I've made it with baby powder and it does smell. I love it. I've been using it in my books, and it has made the books smell wonderful. Yep, even with the odd bits on the side, I like that. And then I think it needs something across the top. So, maybe a bit of that. Let's see if I can get that off without making too much of a mess. There we go. Right, so we have the beginnings of, oh, the recipe for texture paste. I used a 1/4 cup of talc and then a teaspoon each of white acrylic paint and very cheap PVA glue. I have tried it other ways and this is the only way I've found that I can get it to work. It's I used good quality talcum powder. I think I used Johnson & Johnson baby talc. So it smells wonderful, and then I just kept adding a splash of water, and then I just kept adding talc until it was the right. I quite like thick texture paste, and yeah, that's what worked for me. Right, I'm going to clean up my stencils, which is a must do after using texture paste, and I'll be right back. Right, I've dried everything off, cleaned up stencils and everything else. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that's just a bit too dark up here. I want a bit of light, so just a bit of, this is, oh, I'll show you after. It's just white acrylic, no, sorry, it's gesso. Peebo Studio Gesso. I'll hold it up in a minute once I've so if I just put a bit on, I just don't, it's just a bit too dark. I'm just saying that it's gonna get filthy. It's out in my bag, it's gonna get filthy. So let's just go a bit mad with the gesso. Maybe a bit underneath. Use up the last of it. If you find there's a bit too much on there, you can always get the baby wipe and just take a bit off. Get rid of that. Yeah, I'm quite liking that. What I thought of doing, I quite fancied a butterfly up here. That one, or I suppose that's more in keeping with the colour. Let's put that back on. So if we just cut the butterfly out, whoa, too much water. So if I carefully now pull that apart. Move that out of the way. And then this big boy. Sorry. I get carried away with these things. Can go up there. Oops. You know when you have one of those days that you think, maybe I should have just stopped in bed. So, try to straighten them out a bit. I was always told that whatever you put on should face the corner. So that one to that corner. And whether that's right or not, I don't know. Seems to work. And that. I'm thinking it's pretty much done. So I am really pleased with that. So there we go. A well, it's not very dimensional. There's a bit of texture paste on there, but it's got to be chucked in my rucksack. So I don't want it dimensional. I need it to withstand all the abuse it's going to get over the coming weeks as we go on our little camping trips. Have camper van, we'll travel. Oh, I was going to show you the acrylic paint if I can. There we go. Get the lid on it. So there we go. That's the gesso I use. So there we go. My completed. It is a mixed media, I suppose, because there are lots of different things. I just wanted to show you what you could achieve, or what I envisaged with those with that kit. I'm really pleased with it. That dreaded blank page. Actually, what I could do, maybe I can't. Ooh, that looks pretty good. Put it on and wipe it off. Yeah. I think actually I'm going to leave it like that. That says, yep, it's mine. I know where it is. And I'm quite proud of that. Well, I hope I've given you some inspiration. I have got a ton more ideas for these backgrounds, so I will be back in the next few days or so, and we'll go through some more. Hope you've enjoyed it. Take care now. Bye.